Hi, my name is Evie. Welcome back to my channel. I make videos for people who feel stuck or in survival mode to help them live better on their way to living well. So I just want to get right to it today. My video is about surviving major weight loss. And so a little bit about me. I lost about 100 pounds 15 years ago, but not all at one time. It was over some years. At my lowest, I was a little bit over 100 pounds lost. Now I maintain about 90, between 80 and 90 pounds, like all the time. And so, but yeah, I have maintained that weight loss for over 15 years. And so I have learned so much in that time about the world, about myself, about people, about health and wellness. I could write a book, actually. I am writing one about it. And so, yeah, these are just some of the things that I have learned. And the first one is, it is a journey. Embrace the fact that it is a journey. There is no final after picture. I know, and for years growing up, because this is something that I battled from childhood, my weight, I would do a before picture. I took so many before pictures, and usually I didn't follow up with the after because the after wasn't lasting for years. But there is no final after. You're going to have an after and then an after. And so it is a journey. It is continual. You will be on this road for the rest of your life. And I don't say that to discourage you. I don't believe that losing weight and maintaining weight is hard. I said this to someone one time. It is involved. It is intricate, but I don't believe, or at least in my experience, it is not hard. When I think of hard, I think of like running a marathon. That's hard. But I think of it as very involved, very intricate. It has a lot of steps, a lot of considerations, a lot of nuances. So embracing the fact that it is, in fact, a journey and really viewing it as such, and being encouraged that if there's a week, a month, a year, that you're off, you're up, something's going on, someone passed, you're grieving, you are out of work, all of these things that happen in our lives that derail us from our goals, a lot of times weight loss and fitness goals, knowing that it's not the end. You can always get back on and continue, and really you're not starting over because you're starting from where you are. And what you've learned since you got derailed, it puts you in a better position than you were in the first place. So that was number one. It's a journey. Number two is your lowest weight will likely not be your ending weight. And this goes into the first one. It is a journey. It is something that your weight will be up and down, even if it's only by 1 or 2 pounds, which I've rarely seen that, but your weight will likely be up and down based on what's going on in your life, water retention, hormones, sugar, what you're eating, your exercise, your sleep, your stress, that impacts your weight. And so those things are not ever going to be static. Those things are always going to be moving and changing. And so just being okay with the lowest weight that you get to is probably not going to be the last or ending weight. And it's probably for the best, because I look back at pictures and I am aware that my lowest weight was way too small. I was way too skinny. I looked like a bobblehead. And someone even asked me at that time if I had an eating disorder. And I just was like, wow. And I realized that it was because they weren't used to seeing me that way, but just recognizing that what society says is a healthy weight or a healthy size may not necessarily be right for you, especially if you have larger bones, you have more muscle mass, you have a big head. There are things that are other factors that you can't rely on other people's successes, other people's goals, other people's markers. You have to define them for yourself. And where I am now, I am comfortable that this is where I want to be. And if I want to lose 5 to 10 pounds, I know how to do that easily. And so, yeah. Number 3, maintaining can be harder than losing the weight in the first place. Maintenance is involved because It's not only maintaining your diet and your fitness, but it's also navigating stress and sleep and all of these other factors that play into our weight. And these are not things that we necessarily, or that society talks about as far as weight loss and health. But stress and sleep, I read something or heard something one time that sleep is more important to your health and fitness than diet and exercise combined. I'll say that again. Sleep is more important to your health and fitness than diet and exercise combined. When I heard that, it blew my mind, but it also made me go back in my mind to periods of time where I was doing what I was supposed to be doing at the gym, and I was eating what I was supposed to be eating, and I wasn't seeing results, and sometimes even gaining weight. And recognizing that in those times, I was likely not sleeping, and I was supremely stressed. And these are things that we need to take into account. Number 4 goes into the last point. My tangent of the last point is that it's not just diet, exercise, it's also sleep and stress. And so managing those things, finding a way to navigate getting enough sleep, navigate lessening stress. I think I'll make a video about stress maintenance and finding ways to lessen stress. And I think in some seasons of life that's just maybe not realistic, but I think that there are things that we can do to not be so stressed. Number 5, accepting the fact that some people and things will have to change in your life in order for you to maintain. And so I think about towards the beginning of my health journey, I had a friend that we would go to Chipotle and then we would go to Cold Stone. And thinking about that now, it's just insane to me because I don't eat either of those things anymore. But at the time when I was still eating them, it would be like later on, it would be one or the other. Chipotle and Cold Stone in one setting, in one outing. And so recognizing that, it's also sobering to recognize that people are committed to a version of you that you don't like and or that's not healthy. But for whatever their reasons are, we're not going to judge them in their journeys and their insecurities or whatever. But people don't like change. They don't like it when things in their life change. They don't like it when things in your life change because it confronts them with themselves and confronts them what maybe they're not able to do themselves. And so, yeah, recognizing that some people in your life won't be in your life anymore. I can probably count on one hand the amount of people who are still regular fixtures in my life outside of family than that were at the beginning of my health journey almost 20 years ago. It's sad. It's also shocking, but life is change. And I think when you change things about yourself, that also changes how you move through the world, and that changes who wants to be in your life and who doesn't. And so, accepting that. 6, how you see the world will change. Kind of going from what I said just now, seeing other people's changes towards you and how they treat you and how they see you and the things that they say to you, and this is strangers and people that you know and love, will really start to make you think and wonder about people and what are their reasons for wanting to be in people's lives and what are their motivations, and if people are for real and they're genuine. It'll make you start to question things. And so being prepared for that. Number 7, keep some Lycra. And I'm not an advocate for wearing leggings all the time if you want to maintain your weight, because leggings and stretchy things will lie to you. And sometimes we lie to ourselves. I can remember seasons of life where jeans were getting tighter and I was saying, oh, I just put them in the dryer, they shrunk a little. We will lie to ourselves. But if you keep you some Lycra on those days where it's like, or seasons, weeks, months, where you're gaining weight and there's nothing you can do to manage the stress and there's nothing you can do to sleep more, who wants to feel bad when you already feel bad enough? And so just making allowances for those times when you can't change it, just giving yourself room, literally and figuratively, for life to happen. So some dresses with Lycra, some dresses you can wear, whether you're this size or the next size up or the next size down. But also keeping those things that don't have any stretch, just to keep you honest. Number 8 and final. Let people come to you about advice about health and wellness, and do not get too attached to whether they take your advice or not, or their results. What I have found is when you go through a journey that changes your life, that makes things better in your life, you want to share it with everyone. You want other people to come along. But what I've learned is that everybody doesn't want to come. Everybody doesn't want to do the work that it requires. Some people are not able for whatever reason, whether it's mental, physical, they have other physiological stuff going on in their bodies that they can't do what you did. But recognizing that people are on their own journey and they have to come in their own time and in their own way. And if they come to you and you're able to help them and give them advice, great. But if they don't, you have to know that that's not a rejection of you, and that's not a reflection of your unwillingness to help. Because the thing of the matter, weight and health are so personal. There's so many triggers for a lot of people, especially if they were heavy growing up and heavy at different seasons of their life. You don't know what their parents treated them like, what they were treated like at school, whether they were bullied, how they moved through the world. And so you really don't want to trigger someone by doing what you think is helping. And so letting people come to you, but also knowing that everybody got to go for themselves and everybody got to do it in their own time and in their own way. And so while you may be able to offer help, they may not be ready and they may not want it. So let them come to you. So those are my tips for surviving major weight loss, and I will probably make a health journey video. Why not? That's what people do on here. But yes, again, thank you so much for coming to my channel. I make videos again about taking you from surviving to living better on your way to living well. And thank you for being here. You could be anywhere on the World Wide Web, but you're here with me and I appreciate it. See you next video. Bye.